What is the moral argument for the existence of God in 3 minutes or less? The moral argument for the existence of God, also called the axiological argument if you want to get really fancy, is basically an argument that says that there's this innate sense in humans where we realize that there are universal standards of right and wrong. For example, we don't just say the Holocaust happened and some people didn't like it. We say that this was actually morally evil. One of the most famous proponents of this argument is a guy you've probably heard of named C.S. Lewis. Here's how he describes it. What interests me about all these remarks when someone wrongs someone else is that the man who makes them is not merely saying that the other man's behavior does not happen to please him. He's appealing to some kind of standard of behavior which he expects the other man to know about. Quarreling means trying to show that the other man is in the wrong, and there would be no sense in trying to do that unless you and he had some sort of agreement as to what right and wrong are. Whenever you find a man who says he does not believe in real right or wrong, you will find the same man going back on this a moment later. He may break his promise to you, but if you try breaking one to him, he will be complaining that it's not fair before you can say Jack Robinson. A nation may say treaties do not matter, but then, next minute, they spoil their case by saying that the particular treaty they want to break was an unfair one. But if treaties do not matter, and if there is no such thing as right and wrong, in other words, if there is no law of nature, what is the difference between a fair treaty and an unfair one? Here's what C.S. Lewis is saying. Though there are some cultures that allow you to have multiple sexual partners and others that only allow you to have one in marriage, every culture that's ever arisen has said that you just can't sexually assault whoever you want, whenever you want. Though some cultures allow killing for some reasons and not other reasons, no culture that's ever existed just says you can kill anyone, anytime you want, for any reason. There is something inside the heart of man, what John Calvin would call a sensus divinitatus, this sense of the divine, where we realize that God demands certain things from us. There are certain universal standards of right and wrong. Now, what some people will say is that that's not true. What is right or wrong is determined just by a culture. If a bunch of people agree that something's right, then it is, or if a bunch of people agree that something's wrong, then it is. But I think that strikes us as being absurd. We would not say that using a racial slur against a black person during the Civil War is okay just because a majority of people in the South said it was okay. There's something inside the heart of man that realizes acts don't just happen that we approve of or disapprove of, they're actually right or wrong. That is the moral argument for the existence of God.